Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Guess what? We've got another amazing show at CLX Foundry Live, where we jump and dive deep inside of people's builds and we assemble them from the ground up. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX, and of course, joining me live from our studios in Wichita, Kansas, it is our lead technical expert, Paul Steffens, and Zach Killingsworth, who is our master builder.
Hi.
Forgot to mute my phone.
What up?
So we're doing something a little bit different today, and we've got some actual new products that we've never had on the show before, which I'm really excited about. But we're going to be doing a dually, like we did last week, or
We got two builds.
last week.
I think
Yeah, we're doing
last
two
week.
builds in once. Two builds at once. Yeah. So, Paul, let's talk about the first one. It's obviously Sakura. What are we putting in it?
All right, so going inside of this build, we're starting out with our processor. We've got the AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. To cool that, we've got the Trix 360 Panorama SE 360 ARGB in white. You can see this, it has an awesome screen that we'll be talking about. You can see it at the bottom of the screen there. And for our motherboard, we've got the ASRock X870 Pro RS Wi-Fi. Then for our memory, we've got two sticks of G.Skill 48 gigabyte DDR5 5600 speed, so a total of 98 gigs of DDR5 memory in this build. For our storage drive, we've got two ADATA 800 Gold NVMe M.2 drives. And for our video card, we've got an RTX 5080 also in white from MSI. This is fantastic. For our case, we have our NV5 Sakura edition. It's obviously the white NV5 that we've got this custom print on, so we'll show off all the panels in just a minute. It's going to look great with this all-white build. For our case fans, we've got 8 of our Game DS Aeolus M2 fans in white. And last but not least, our power supply is a 1,000-watt Helios P2 80 Plus Gold, also in white. So we've got kind of the yin and yang builds today.
That's awesome. I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget, if you have questions or you hear a term that you've never heard before and you want more clarification, or if you just got general questions about computer stuff as it is, feel free to ask. There's no harm in asking. There's no stupid questions. We love it. In the chats, by the way, I want to say hello to Native Temperance, and Cosworth is here. Hello. What's going on, people? I'm excited to be back streaming today. Post-concussion fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Nobody likes concussions. I would not recommend it for anybody.
Is the back of your head healed?
Yeah, check this out.
Let's see. Oh, I can't even tell.
Yep.
Looks back to normal.
Once the swelling started to come down, like it was that day of our show last 2 weeks ago, and I was just not having it. It started to scab up, and so I just every time I could put triple antibiotic ointment and just layered it on there and left it. And then once it was dry again, I would do it again. And I did this all day long. And it managed to come up. I managed to walk away without a scar. And that is
That's what's up.
Unbelievably lucky. Yeah. God, that board is gorgeous. Jeez. Look at that. Look at that. That's fantastic. Yep, it's healed. It's all healed. So let's talk about the board right here. We've got an ASRock X870 Pro RS Wi-Fi in white. Look at that. It's not only the white PCB, but you've got all the heat spreaders. It's fantastic. It's also got some great connectivity on it, which we're going to talk about here right now. So at the very top, you've got your 2 antenna ports for your Wi-Fi, and then you got your 1 HDMI port. Down below we're going to have I'm going to just go ahead and point them all out. We got 2 USB 4 Type-C ports. Those are 40 gigs up and down. And then we've got 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-A ports, 6 USB 2.0 ports, an RJ45 LAN port, which I think is a 2.5 gig. And then we've got your line out, your microphone jack, and your SPDIF. Yes. So lots of options for connectivity on this device. There we go. Now, to make this thing work, we got to have a brain. That's going to be an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. So this is pretty much near top of the line. The X3Ds are great. Paul, what can you tell me about this processor?
So this is an 8-core, 16-thread processor. It's got a base speed of 4.7 and it will boost all the way to 5.2 gigahertz. So an amazing gaming processor here. It will be able to game, stream, do plenty of other things as well.
Free Mustache Ride, what's going on? Welcome in. He says, are you guys going to run the Oracle PC again this October?
I don't know if we can for sure confirm or deny it, but I bet we do. If you're looking to get one, that's probably the time. Maybe we'll even have some like updates to it. I don't know. We'll see.
Right? Okay. Now we're getting our framework on here. Obviously, this is a little bit different than when we do it with Intel. So this is for the AMD Ryzens. How is the difference in hooking up an AIO with the under bracket, with the bracket on the back of the motherboard versus having to add these little plastic doohickeys?
Yes, so this is for the AMD setup. We just want to take off those plastic clips that you saw me remove earlier, and then install these plastic clips to get it set up, or the vice versa for the Intel system would use a fancy base plate with all of its posts there instead of just the posts right there. So,
Gotcha.
You need this cable?
Nice.
no.
I didn't
Now
think
I
so.
don't remember which ones those go to. Cool.
Now we do have something that is special because we've never had one of these in the show before. All right, this is a Trix 360 AIO Panorama Southeast SE white. Yeah, this is fantastic. It's the first time we've ever used it. So Paul, what can you tell me about this AIO?
So this is a Trix 360 Panorama SE, like you mentioned, DJ. Now it's somewhat like most AIOs for what Zach's got right here. We've got our 360 rad with our pump combo there, but what makes this unique is this screen right here. This thing is awesome. So you can see it's obviously curved at 90 degrees. Then you can have one. You can make this one screen, or it can also be two. So you can have two different animations going at the same time. Yes, it is. It is very, very cool. The way this mounts on there, we usually, well, we're probably going to put this on at the very end, but you can put it on like this, or you can rotate it to go to like a waterfall mode is what they call it. You can kind of mount this in any direction that you want.
That is fantastic. It might be the overhead mic. That could be the problem. So, obviously, this it's a 360 AIO. So, for those who don't know what an AIO is, let's walk them through the process.
So, AIO stands for all-in-one. So, the 360 refers to the size of the radiator. So, this section right here to the right of Zach. We can fit 3 120 millimeter fans on here. The most common sizes are 120, 240, and 360. There are 140 variants as well. But the 360 is the great one to go with, especially if you're going with a Ryzen 7 like this. It's going to keep it cool, and that way it stays at its boost speeds for a long time.
Well done. I like it. Now that we got that all screwed down, we just got to get the power and things connected. And Zach has a very specific way of doing this. And I like it because it's actually really cool. So all of this one looks shorter.
Yes, this one kind of poops out at the bottom, and so we don't have a whole lot of excess for it. So we just kind of want to subtly tuck it. I like tucking it underneath our ribs here. And then we'll just roll that over when we go to install.
Nice. There we go. All right. Up next is our RAM. And this is going to be kind of how the brain functions. And that is going to be two 48 gig sticks for a total of 96 gigs of DDR5 5600 Trident Z5 Black RGB. I absolutely love this RAM. It looks great. It performs great. Of course, we're going into the 2 and the 4 slot start. And why is that, Paul?
That is what our motherboard manual tells us to do. So we always want to use slots 2 and 4. Pretty much on every motherboard it's going to be that way. If you're unsure, look at the manual. It'll tell you where to put the RAM in, whether you've got 1 stick, 2 sticks, 3 sticks, or 4 sticks. Red stick, blue stick.
Yep. And speaking of sticks, what Zach is holding is not gum. It's an M.2. M.2s are solid state drives, and this is one of two that's going to be installed. This is 2 terabyte Team Group MP33 NVMe M.2. Now, as you noticed, Zach pulled off the the guard, or the heat sink, I guess what you would call it. But there were stickers that he pulled off. I hope you guys noticed that. If you are doing this, when you install an M.2, you've got to remove the stickers so that they can touch the
Thermal pad.
thermal pad. Okay. And that actually looks like that. Is it just a push button?
Yes, it's just a little slide lock.
That is genius. That makes it so much easier to get access to your stuff.
No more dropping screws.
Right? Oh, God. That is the bane of my existence, let me tell you. Especially when they're small.
The M.2 screws
All right,
are tiny.
Is it because you weren't born in the dark?
Oh. He wasn't molded
I was
by
born in the darkness. I was molded by it.
You had magnetic
I still think that was...
I saw someone critiquing that movie, and it kind of ruined it for me.
Oh,
There was a whole
Which
bunch
one?
of just like, the one with Bane, whichever one. Is that Dark Knight Rises? Which one is the Bane
yeah.
one?
Yeah, Bane is Dark Knight
It's like
Rises.
a scene where he's like fighting Batman on like the stairs
Yeah.
near the end.
Yeah.
And he like misses and like punches the pillar behind him and then gives the pillar like another punch.
couple more punches?
Yeah, I was like mad because he missed. It's like, oh, that's pretty
it's
funny.
his combo. It's his combo.
He can't
he's
stop.
already
He was
he's
combo
already
locked.
in his combo.
Right.
Yeah,
He
he's
already
in
put
the-
his inputs
yeah.
in. Yeah, it's like playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, and Batman did his little quick dodge move, and yep. So that pillar got a little extra 1-2.
Yeah.
I always have to laugh. Like when I will go back and rewatch movies a couple times, periodically, like once it's been about a couple months. But if I already know what's happening in the movie, then I spend my time watching the background, watching the extras, looking for the complete and total screw ups or the ones who just couldn't keep it together in the comedies.
Yeah.
There are a couple of those with, for Bridesmaids with Melissa McCarthy. Oh my God. So many people couldn't keep it together.
Oh.
The whole thing that happened on the plane, everybody's trying not to laugh. All right. So now we're getting our fans put on. It's important to have your fans directed in the right way and connected in the right way. Paul?
Yeah, so we have our fans pushing air through this radiator. That is the optimal way to set up fans on an AIO. Now, if you've got room in your case and your budget, you can put fans on both sides. There are threaded holes on either side, but typically you're only going to put them on one way and you want them to be pushing air through. It just cools the coolant in there better than having them pull through. If you do have them set up in the pull method, that's okay. It's not like it's going to break or not cool, but it's just better to do it the push method.
Speaking of pushing, I'm going to push a question to you. Eric Albertson says, are you going to get Xbox Hybrid PC coming out 2-year? I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, I've never heard of it. Cosworth mentions streamed Ace Combat yesterday. Purge wants to play it. You can see what she was playing. She wants it. He says Air Force for the win. Paul?
That's right. The best and smartest branch.
I unfortunately have to agree. I wouldn't say best, definitely the smartest.
The biggest and brightest.
You got to score
Yeah.
well on the test. We
Right.
require the highest ASVAB scores.
I wish, had I not been so focused on joining my friend in the Navy, I probably would have gone Air Force.
Air Force or Navy was the way to go.
But
and I didn't want to
I
be on
scored
a
a
boat.
96 on my ASVAB, and I was just like, whoa. Your dad was Navy, but he wasn't a grunt? That's good.
My grandpa, during World War II, always wanted to see the ocean. So he joined the Coast Guard because he was a little bit too young
Okay.
to like see service time. So he joined the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard put him in Minnesota training dogs.
Oh my God.
My grandpa was not very happy.
What?
Hell yeah.
Training dogs. He was training military dogs. That's what my grandpa did during World War II was train German Shepherds and Huskies and just literally any type of dog. My grandpa trained it.
I mean, cool job,
So,
but not what
I
you
have an
signed up
interesting-
for.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's an interesting story about that. The dog training. Because I'm not kidding. There are pictures. They've tried many different dogs to figure out which one's going to work the best. and there was an obstacle course, and they had to learn commands and things. This one guy, it was his turn. He taught the Great Dane, and the Great Dane just immediately ran over and grabbed the apparatus that was the obstacle for the obstacle course, and dragged it towards the ocean to play with it. And they could not get him to do anything aggressive. And that's when they said, we're not using Great Danes.
They're great for one
Which is fine. They're gentle giants. All right. Now I've got this all mounted in there. Stand this case up.
Let's get our AIO on.
You want the most entertaining one take? Look up the Only Fools and Horses TV show, Chandelier Scene. It was done in one take because they could only afford one, and they struggled to keep a straight face. Oh, God. That's like the Carol Burnett show from back in the days of the 80s. 70s and 80s. That was a show I grew up on.
The Carol Burnett show. I feel like I have seen some of this.
Yep.
She's a pretty,
pretty
Was
funny
she like
lady.
playing as like a secretary at something and doing? Yeah.
She's a pretty funny lady.
And then there's
this is
Eunice and Mama. Yeah.
This is old stuff, guys. Carol Burnett. Born in 1933.
Yeah.
As most people are.
Okay, so since we've brought up the topic of celebrities, I don't get into celebrities at all, but I do have a new favorite couple. The Neesons and Anderson. Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson.
Oh yeah, that's adorable.
Oh, are they together finally?
Oh yeah, it's so good. I saw a clip it, and they're like, "What's your favorite movie?" And she's like, "Oh, it's got to be Schindler's List. He's done hundreds of movies, but Schindler's List is like the best movie." I'm like, that, yup.
That's adorable.
Yep.
But was Liam Neeson in Schindler's List?
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Schindler.
Yeah,
No,
it's like
he wasn't. Yeah, no, that wasn't him.
Liam Neeson.
I am almost positive.
Yeah,
I am
he was Oscar Schindler.
almost positive that is Schindler because I watched that in German.
He was the guy.
He was the guy. Okay, so then I'm completely mistaken.
Oh my god.
It's a black and white movie, and the only color in it is the little girl in the red coat. And then you see the red coat in mud, and you're like, oh.
I think I'm thinking of a different movie.
Yeah, you are. You're thinking
Morgan
of
Freeman's
Glorious Bastards. That's what you're thinking.
No. Morgan Freeman was in it, and they were in a prison, and he escaped the prison.
Oh,
and buried all this money. That's what I was thinking of. Shawshank. Yes, Liam Neeson was on in Shawshank, which is not what we're talking about. So I've failed twice.
It's all good.
Dude, the winner of the Golden Bachelorette is coming to town. You want to talk
What?
about power couples? Oh yeah. He's from Wichita.
Oh, dang.
My wife and her friend are gonna go as like a.
What is it? Oh, is it just like a...
The Golden Bachelorette? You know what The Bachelor is, or The Bachelorette? You know that show?
Okay.
Do you know about it? It's like basically it's like a reality TV dating show.
Okay.
And one person is picking from a whole bunch of other people, but the Golden Bachelorette is all people with their AARP cards. They're senior citizens.
Ah, so it's like the Silver Bachelorette.
Yes. What is the guy's name? He's got a weird name. Like, I don't know.
Mads Mikkelsen?
No, it's like Chad or Chet or something like that. Chalk.
Well,
Chalk.
you know how we feel about Chad.
Yes.
Chalk Chappie.
Yeah.
He
won.
Chalk Chappie.
Yep. Chalk Chapel.
Chapel. It looks like Chappie.
He's coming.
That's still a
if you wanna
crazy
go
name.
see it, it is a crazy name. So this is like B-list Liam Neeson and Pam.
Dang, all right.
Oh, there we go. All right. Temperance mentions, says DJ Temperance, the puppy, was a pain in the butt to learn bite work. She was so anti to it, we ended up taking a Kong toy that was fuzzy, and she loved it, attached it to a bite pillow, and then started weaning her off the cog just to bite the pillow. I have so many things I want to ask and so many inappropriate comments I want to make. And I'm going to just not.
Do it. I punched the trash can.
I don't want to shame pillow biters. Oh, my Lord. That's amazing. All right. So now we're getting our basic case cables going through there. So when you're getting the case cables ready along with the fans, Zach, what are some good things to keep in mind?
Yes. So I like to keep everything separated just to make it life a lot easier on tying everything up. You can throw all of the fans in here and the power supply and have all of your cables in here and everything, and that is fine, but it makes it a lot easier if you just do one segment at a time and get it done and then move on to the next one. So I like kind of the rule of thirds, like the photography people all know. I've got our case cables, which is going to be our USBs and our front panel headers, and then we'll have our fan cables, which will power the fans and color the fans, and then we'll have our power cables for powering everything.
Oh my gosh, that Glee is in the chat. And that Glee says, I just received a custom pre-built PC from CLX from a Gleam giveaway I won. It's arrived perfectly and looks so beautiful. We're so glad to hear that. Let me tell you a little something. In our Discord, it's discord.gg/CLX Gaming. We have a thread for anybody who's got a CLX PC. When you get it set up, you're ready to go, take a picture of it, drop it in there. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see your setup. Can I ask what are you a gamer, content creator? What's gonna be your primary use for it?
Looking up recipes off of YouTube for how to make mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah. You use sour cream in your mashed potatoes? That's the move.
Okay.
Sour cream.
So,
everything in between?
All right. Okay. How do you mash your potatoes?
With a power mixer blender
like a
thing.
Keurig or not Keurig,
Cuisinart.
Really?
Yeah. But
I use a meat tenderizer.
What the hell?
So do you leave the hides on?
I don't mind if they're on, but I don't at home.
No.
My wife's not about that.
Oh.
She's got that whole sensory stuff. Not about it.
Oh. Yeah, I like my mashed potatoes to be a little chunky, but yeah, you gotta have the right ingredients in it to make it taste right.
Have you ever had whipped potatoes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, that was kind of atrocious to watch. I've never actually heard a potato scream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Dark Side Reborn says, I hope I can get one day. Right now, I just have a mini PC for streaming. There you go. I mean, really, that's all you really truly need. You don't need a whole lot of power for streaming. You need the power for gaming.
Temperance is put cream cheese in mashed potatoes? I've never heard of that.
Yep,
but I
half
like
a stick of butter, some milk, salt, pepper, and potatoes in a vacuum sealed bag. And when it's done, it squeezes the bag. That sounds good, Lord. That Glee says, I study graphic design and media, so I know this machine will be able to handle all the programs I need. It will.
Yes, it will.
Definitely will.
And big congrats, Glee. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Some giant idiot says, first of all, you get props for that name. That name is fantastic. So some giant idiot says, I like grainy mashed potatoes. Or that, yes. Oh, you do it in bulk and freeze the bags?
Oh, there we go. All right, someone's thinking. Someone's doing some meal prep.
It's actually kind of brilliant.
You could say you're doing some sous vide, right? Isn't that when you have it sealed in a bag and cook it in the water that's a certain temperature? Apparently you guys aren't as fancy as me.
I haven't done that since
Boom!
Scouts.
Temperance knows. That's right.
Yep, Temperance
it's called sous vide.
Sous vide. Sous vide? I don't know. I think it's French. I think it's like SUVAIS or
we
something.
just called that boiling breakfast.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Because that's what we would do. We'd crack eggs and stick like some bacon, and you just stick it in a bag, and then you mush it all together, and then you throw it in the boiler. And then come back a couple minutes later, and you've got some fluffy eggs.
You were doing some high-class stuff.
Dude, in Scouts, it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. We had donuts. We had
made 'em?
homemade dropped donuts
That's awesome.
for breakfast one morning.
Sous vide.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sous vide. Let's see.
Yep.
This is. I watch a lot of Food Network. Okay, I know my different cooking styles.
I'm a huge fan of the
I would
Great
beat
British
Bobby
Baking
Flay.
Show. Oh, you think?
Oh yeah, easy peasy.
Okay.
You could win on what's his name?
Beat Bobby Flay.
Ramsey.
Hell yeah, dude. I'd tell Ramsey.
Oh man,
what's
Gordon
what.
Ramsay. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So some January says, actually, I want to ask you pro builders something about top-mounted fan placements. You guys see how how Noctua recommends having one intake and one exhaust over air coolers?
Like, I'm a little confused on the question.
With it.
Noctua recommends one intake and one exhaust over air cooler. Like, is that like a push-pull on a 120? Is that what we're talking about?
So you've got your heat sink. Mm-hmm. You've got this fan as an exhaust fan, so it's help
above
pulling
it? Like an
it's
air
help-
cooler heat sink or
yeah,
an AIO
yeah.
heat sink?
Air cooler heat sink, and then it's help pulling all fresh air or all hot air, and then like this fan right here, is blowing in fresh air right in front of it.
Oh wow!
So it's literally just circles right
doing
out.
that. I'm sure that would be good.
Crazy. I've never heard of A. B. It's kind of genius. If I'm being honest.
I think if you had it if you move the fan to the front first to top, I don't know how much of a difference you would see it in frame rate, but it's probably the optimal way to do it. So yeah, you would just have to do some testing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Hashim, welcome in. Hello. What's going on? Howdy doody. Got a question for Zach. Is he doing an after show today?
Oh yeah,
We have like a dual build today, so there will be an after show, but both of us will be up here. DJ will be here too, I believe.
Yeah. So once we're done with the dually, we're done. Got it. Easy Tune V says that's usually for air coolers, not so much for liquid. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so for this, like if you're using this case, Mr. Giant Idiot, and you had an air cooler, not an AIO, so you just had your air cooler right here. Maybe we can go back to the front real quick, Jason. So if you had just your air cooler right here instead of this AIO, you could have intake fans here and exhaust up here, but if you're talking like putting one intake fan here to blow air right on top and then one exhaust, that would be fine. But even if you just had one fan over here, one fan over here, and one exhausting, I don't think you're going to see that big of a difference as far as like temps go. So it's probably optimal to do it that way, but like as a measurable difference that you're going to notice when you're gaming, I don't think it's going to be that big. As long as you've got some airflow going on there, that's the big part.
Heat's a natural riser.
Let's hear it.
It doesn't take
Motivation
much to
for you
just
asks.
move it.
Well, we don't have any giveaways currently going. Motivation over there on the YouTube side. Can you win in Bangladesh? I'm not sure what we're trying to win here. Coming over from Kick, we got Eric Kaiser says, "What's the specs on this PC?" We've got a CLX Horus NV5 it's a white Sakura edition. It's an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D with Trix 360 AIO in white. We've got it all mounted on a motherboard that is an ASRock X870 Pro RS Wi-Fi in white. You've got 96 gigs of DDR5, 5600, 5080, and then 2 terabyte Team Group MP33s for the M.2s, 8 GameDS ALS M2 fans, and a GameDS 1000 watt Helios P280 Plus gold power supply. There you go. I've always mounted top fans and rear fans as exhaust.
Correct.
Yeah, that's typically how it's done over here. It depends on your case design, but yeah. I mean, Noctua obviously knows what they're doing, so whatever they're saying, I'm sure is based on some truth and facts and stuff. But like, as far as what you're going to notice in the game, frame rate wise, I don't think this would be that much of a difference. If you had 3 top fans mounted, what would be better for 2 intake and 1 exhaust on an air cooler? If you only have those 3 fans in your system, then yes, you want 2 intake and 1 exhaust, as opposed to all intake or all exhaust. Now, if you only have 3, I wouldn't put all 3 in the top of your case. I put 2 either like in the very front and 1 in the back and leave the top empty. But it just depends on your case design. If you have a specific case you want us to give you a recommendation on for those fan configurations, we can definitely do that. Just let us know what case.
And I'll be honest, like air coolers have changed so much since I first started playing with PCs. And like what a good example is when we were going and looking at different things we could upgrade at DreamHack that one year. I saw some wild designs when it came to air coolers.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool ones out there. Cool ones.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, sir.
But
yeah. There you go. One thing we are going to treat you all to here in between the building of this and the next is we've got a special video from our time at AnimeCon, which is incredible. You'll be able to see that here in just a little bit. Coming back over to the PC itself, let's take a look at that graphics card. So this is an MSI Ventus 3, right?
5000D. Yes.
There we go. It's a 16 gig 5080. The thing is a rock star. Some giant idiot says, say I'm using a Corsair 5000D. I filled it all with 120 millimeter fans, 3 in the front ins, 3 side in, rear out. How should I mount the 3 fans for the top?
Okay, so in that case, you would definitely mount them as exhaust on the top. Yep.
Correct.
We built a few of those 5000Ds in our day.
It's a nice.
I don't even know what that is.
It is a nice case.
I'm gonna look
It's a Corsair case.
Nice Corsair.
It's pretty good.
All right, let's do unlimited power.
What? Why is it? This is why I don't use Bing. It's like, ooh, things that are trending. Tom Selleck. What?
Today's Tom Sawyer.
Doesn't Bing like pay you to use it?
I mean, if they
You
do,
get,
I
like,
should probably start getting into
rewards.
that.
Yeah, if you'd be binging
Oh
stuff.
yeah, get the rewards. That their results are just so garbage half the time.
My buddy was showing me because he was doing that. He's like, I almost got like $5. I'm like, dang. I would probably just pay that money to get the correct search result.
Right? Thank you.
But, you know.
Bingo. And to not have to have it in a white page.
They don't have a dark
It's
mode?
just, no, they don't have a dark mode. Not that I've found yet.
Come on, Bing. What's going on here? Small indie
Granted, I
company,
don't.
though, for sure. So, makes sense.
Bing. Chandler Bing.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get this video card out of the box while Zach's getting
Yes.
that power
Take a look
supply
at it.
installed.
Now, as you can see, this is one of the things I love about the GameDS power supplies. Look at those cables. They're all flat. They look great. It's going to be a nice aesthetic inside of the case. Something to really, really consider. What PSUs do you guys like to use? Says some giant idiot. Good point. We get all sorts of them.
So we've used a ton of different brands and different styles, so there isn't one that super stands out to me, but yeah, this Helios CLX one is pretty nice. If I had to like pick a top brand out of everything, I'd probably go with like an EVGA Supernova.
Yeah.
But there is a ton
Yeah.
of good brands. The biggest thing is get one that's that is a main brand. Don't get some random thing that you've never heard of. And yeah, but if I pick one, it'd be a EVGA.
So if you see a power supply for $5 on Temu, don't buy it.
Yep.
There we go.
Don't risk all your components getting fried to save a few bucks.
Once again, that was a GameDS 1000 watt Helios P2 80 plus in gold white edition. Now, before we start talking about the graphics card, do you want to run through what plus gold means?
Yes.
80 plus gold.
So the 80 plus rating is an efficiency rating on the power supplies. We're starting to see pretty much everything in the industry go to 80 plus gold, but there's an 80 plus base rating, which is just like the white 80 plus logo, and then you've got bronze, silver, gold, platinum, titanium. And as you go up in the list, the more efficient your power supply goes to. So in order to get that rating, it's got to be 80% efficient at 3 different loads. They typically do, I believe, 20%, 50%, and 100%. Then, like I said, as you go up the list, they get more and more efficient, which just means the amount of power coming out of your wall versus what your computer's using. So it's what's reflected in your energy bill is the best way to relate it to somebody. Now, obviously, it doesn't cost a lot. Going from like a bronze to a gold isn't going to save you like $20 a month or anything like that on your energy bill. It might save you like $1 or something like that.
Real quick, Krampus666 says, hello, first-time viewer and looking to get into the PC world. I currently am on Xbox and I'm looking to switch over to PC really soon. I recently have seen a photo of your limited edition Oracle, which is badass. I love that. Fingers are crossed for them to come back out so that I can make my first purchase. Yeah. It's worth waiting for. That Oracle case is genius.
You only got a couple more months. It's almost October. We're in August right now.
Can you not say that right now?
The year's going. The kids go back to school in a week. It's crazy.
They're selling Halloween decor at everywhere already.
Zach said he saw Halloween decorations.
Dude, get out of here, guys.
Brother, it's still 90.
Yeah.
Some giant idiot did ask a good question. Does a 5080 need a 1000 watt, or can you get away with an 850?
Depending on your other components, you can get away with an 850. If you really want to know, type in PSU calculator into Google or Bing if you're one of those people.
Bang.
Yep.
And just do PSU calculator and you can put in all your specs and it'll spit out a recommended wattage for you. Those are pretty safe to trust. So depending on your other your other parts, you can probably get away with an 850. But 1000 watt is going to be the recommendation that I would give you.
And we always do recommend having a little bit more. If it recommends like a 650 watt, go for that 750.
Yeah, I think I went 1300 just because of everything plugged into it. Now, let's talk about what is going on with Paul's hands, because he's got his hands on an MSI Ventus 3. This is an awesome card, and it comes in white. The framework and the design around it is just gorgeous. You've got a closed back end on it, proper ventilation, 3 fans. Paul, walk us through.
Very nice. So I like this one, this 5080 from MSI. Obviously, this is the MSI Ventus 3X OC in white. So it's got all white backplate, white coverings, white fans. It's going to match the aesthetic of this build really nicely. So if you need a white card, this is a good one to go for, and it's not outrageously expensive either.
And so, based on its weight, do you think you'll need a support?
You won't need an anti-sag bracket for this. Now, these NV5s do come with one built in, and this card is long enough to utilize that. So we will use it in this build, but if you were at home and you didn't have an anti-sag device in your case, I wouldn't say that you need it.
Let's see here. Some idiot says, if I undervolted and limited my 14900K to 200 to lower than 200 watts and limited to 5080 to 90% power with afterburner, can I be a madman and use a 750 watt?
Well, you can live your life however you want to live your life, but you are really living up to your name by doing that. I wouldn't do that.
Jesus. Well played. Well played. Let's see. Cosmos mentions the prices on the new Xbox handhelds make me laugh. For those price ranges, I could be over halfway to a decent spec PC build. Uh-oh. How expensive are they?
$450.
Cash, maybe.
Are you serious?
I don't know. That's what the Switch
idea.
2 is.
I didn't even know there's an Xbox handheld now. I didn't even know that.
It's a PC.
And you have internet at your house, Paul. How do you not know these things?
I'll be too busy scaping these days, you know? I've been living in the worlds of Gillinor.
Oh. Jealous.
Boom, 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 boom. Nearly $1,000 for the high-end one. Good God.
Ooh.
People.
What's it do? Play Steam?
Right. I'll go back. I'll go back to
Ally. Is that what this is called?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Xbox Ally.
Was it ROG as
crazy.
well?
Yeah, so it's the
Everybody's
ROG
just getting in on this.
partnered with. They probably just partnered with Xbox then.
Email when available. No thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool, but
Terabyte?
I don't know.
Not enough room. Not enough room.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I will say, and I don't like to speak ill of products or things because, you know, things happen. But I have a cloud-based handheld from one of my sponsors, and it's great if I'm playing in the house. Like if I'm in bed trying to play something, great, because I can get onto the Xbox through here. I can get onto my Steam library and play things remotely. But it's Wi-Fi only. There is nothing you can save to that device. No games. So if you're flying with a handheld,
Ooh.
nope, there's nothing you can do with it. It's completely useless. Yeah. Let's see here. Someone changes says, last question. What is the smallest ATX mid-tower case you guys can think of that can fit a 420 millimeter AIO top mount? Ooh.
011 Evo X RGB.
There you go. I was like, man, I'm not sure to try to find you the smallest one.
To find out more, head on over to CLX Gaming.
Yeah,
That 420 is going to make it pretty...
Yeah, the 420 is going to make it a little difficult, but it is probably going to be an 011 case.
Yeah.
NV9.
Yeah.
Got
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right, we're going to install that right there. Make sure you get it lined in there correctly, just like Zach's doing, and then you want to make sure you get those screw mounts in there nice and tight. I'll give my deck props. Yeah, that's the one thing that's cool, Cosworth, because I had a Steam Deck for a while, right when they came out, and I had a terabyte card in there. All my games were on there. It was great. What my problem with that was, if I'm sitting playing like this, right? It is so heavy, you have to grip it, and it just drains the blood right out of your arms.
Numbs your fingers.
Bloodletting.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Let's see here. And Uglov mentioned, let's see here. Consoles are becoming less and less appealing with how many studios Microsoft bought and put on PC. Exclusivity is going by the wayside, and I'm here for it. Most of the market is on PC, and exclusivity just limits your profit. EasyTunes mentions exclusivity minimizes your audience as well. With so many people on Steam, Game Pass, Riot Launcher, Battle.net, Epic, etc., it is a tough sell to not be on any of those or be able to run those launchers. Excellent point.
True.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. So, you really think an 011 would be able to fit 4?
A 420? Yeah. It's got the rails for it. That's all I'm thinking of.
The easiest way
the rails.
to look is like, yeah, the rails for it. So if you look at the top, you know, if you're seeing multiple slots for different fans, that's what you're seeing.
Gotcha.
Now
Well,
it's
that
gonna
makes
like depend on the 420 and depend on the fans.
Yeah, super big fans, they might
Yeah.
bump into stuff.
Yeah, because like I installed one the other day, and it forced me to you know how they have the removable tray. It forced me to install it with that tray installed because of how it snapped in. There was some overflow that caused it to where I just had to install everything inside.
Also, if you have equipment that doesn't necessarily fit in your case, please do not use tin shears or otherwise to modify your case. It means there's something wrong. Or you can't use it. All right, we're getting this put together. This, of course, is the second. This is the first of 2 PCs we're building today. And I didn't get one of those. Yeah, EasyTunes made a good point. The new Switch is not worth the money at all, and I have to agree. Yeah. But, I mean, everyone's trying to come up with... The thing is, and I say this with all honesty, the handheld market was kind of locked down by Nintendo for a while, except the Sony PSP. The Sony PSP was awesome.
God of War.
I had 2 of them. Yep, God of War was great on there. Jack and Daxter. Ratchet and Clank. I got to play all the Ratchet and Clank games. And now it's called the Vita. And so the PS Vita, you can do, it's got memory, but you can also do, just download your games. But again, it's a device that's locked to Sony only. My gosh.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'm kind of tripping to see what this screen is going to do because it looks
You're
fantastic.
in for a treat.
Alrighty, are we ready?
Oh yeah.
Doom. Here comes the colors. Ooh, the screen's got a light bound on it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my gosh.
It's coming to
Back
life.
the other shot, the corner shot. That is fantastic. I get a quick little adjustment. Yeah, the case looks amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. Look at that screen. That is
for letting that boot
awesome.
in for a minute.
What?
Dun, dun, dun. And like I said,
That is
that is
absolutely
two
fantastic.
screens on there. So you can have it as one or you can have it as two, which is really nice.
Wow. And there go the lights. Good grief. And this is why Zach has a specific way of doing this.
Quick swap.
That is so bright, so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Well done. All right, and this is going to be the first of two that we're building today. That is just awesome. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, for those of you who enjoyed seeing this, you're going to really enjoy what's coming up next because we're going to take a quick momentary break so that you all can will stretch your legs and check out the Anime Con video that Jason filmed. It's incredible. It's awesome. So we're going to take a quick momentary break. When we come back, we've got PC number 2 for the day, so stick around. More coming up after the break. Don't go away.
during the raffle for Saturday. Cool? Yeah. Caesar. Oh, okay, I did it. The game's right here. Go for it. After you. I only do that with the people that actually play the game.
Oh, I told you I know where Jane is, bro.
Okay, first time LA, this is my first like con ever. This is my second day. First day was crazy, huge turnout, definitely really fun. For a first time con, it's pretty crazy, but it's pretty awesome.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Embrace Group. We're about to start the raffle. Before we start the raffle, I just want to say a big shout out to the volunteer staff, everybody at Embrace. When you see them around, they did a lot of hard work to put this entire thing together. All right. First thing, also, thanks to our sponsors first, Torokami. All right. They, if you bought a cardigan, that's from Torokami. And then, of course, we had CLX and Intel powering our CCC play zone, so make sure you show them some love as well. Let's get some round of applause. Our first Intel processor once again, thank you Intel Gaming, powering our CCC CLX battle zone. This is for an Intel processor 14700K. 120142. You got it? All right. All right, congratulations. Now you gotta buy the rest. It's gonna be an Intel processor, 265K. Make a hole, make a hole. Make a hole, appreciate y'all. You guys are a great crowd. I love this crowd. 2, 3, 3. Congratulations. All right, let's double check that real quick. Verify. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. I hope you guys have been enjoying Anime Expo 2025.
What up?
Hello, everybody. We're back. There we go. It's this is once again CLX Foundry Live, where we go ahead and build PCs from the ground up, and you get to see how we do it and ask her all sorts of questions. Which Emir85, I'm going to get to that in just a second. But first, I just want to say that is app. Look at that stunning display. That Trikes. It's by the way, Trikes, not Tricks. AIO.
It's so
phenomenal. Pretty. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's fantastic. Okay, so we've got a second PC that we're going to be doing, but this is going to be kind of the counterbalance, the opposite of it. This is going to be in an NV5 topography design in black.
We go into the shadow realm now.
Right? Exactly. Now, speaking of the NV series, since we've already gone through you want to go through the parts list again?
Yeah, should we do we can do another rundown of the parts. So this build is almost identical to the last build, it's just the black version of it. So our processor, we've got the AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. For our motherboard, we've got the ASRock X870 Pro-A Wi-Fi. For our cooler, we have another Trikes cooler. This is the same Panorama SE360, but it is in black this time. For our memory, we have 2 sticks of G.Skill, 48 gigabyte DDR5, 5600 speed, and black, so a total of 96 gigs of memory in the system. Same storage configuration, we got two 2 terabyte ADATA 800 gold NVMe M.2 drives going inside this. Our video card is another RTX 5080. This one is a slightly different model. We'll show you that. As you can see, it's the MSI Inspire 3X there.
Nice.
For our case, we obviously have the NV5. This is our topography edition. I really like this one. This is one of my favorites that we have. And for our power supply, we've got the 1000 watt Helios P2 80 plus gold from Game DS.
Nice. All right, so I want to jump over here because we had a really good couple of questions and conversation pieces from Amer. And let's see here. So, Amer says, hi, all. I went from an NV7 to an NV9. Love it. So I can add a 420 AIO Corsair Titan 420 to it. Dang! I like it. I like it a lot. Darkside mentions that was sick. And Darkside says, how can I small stream be sponsored by CLX? You know what? At the very bottom of our webpage, that's clxgaming.com. You'll notice that there is an affiliate section that you can fill out. So check that out. See what happens. Emer says, what's good with the NV9 case is there's so much room for cable management, and I've installed system monitoring screens inside the case. Damn!
Nice.
That's actually rad. I want to see pictures. I don't know if you're in our Discord, Amer, or Amir. I probably said it wrong. But if you do, it's discord.gg/CLXgaming. We have a thread for people to post pictures of their PCs. You should drop it in there. I want to see those. I want to see that. That sounds epic. Absolutely epic. I'm jazzed about it. I'm also jazzed about this motherboard because these motherboards are gorgeous. This is like a Darth Vader version of Joy. And got the same layout as the other one. So we'll go through this one more time with all the jacks that are here. We have got our 2 antennas plus our BIOS flash button at the very top. Then we've got our HDMI. Down below there are 2 USB 4 Type-C ports. That's 40 gigs up and down. It's crazy. It's wild. 6 USB 2.0 ports, an RJ45 that's 2.5 gigs, and then of course your line out jack, your microphone jack, and all that jazz.
Lots of jazz.
Lots of jazz. Jazz hands. Spirit fingers. And if you know where that quote is from, good on you.
RoboCop.
I thought it was. What was it?
Oh, that's dope.
Never mind.
The panorama was paranormal. Alien Jin. Yeah, I agree. Dope handle. I feel like today, like Alien Jin and Some Giant Idiot are today's my 2 favorite new tags that I've seen today. And I can't help but laugh every time I have to say. Yeah, Some Giant Idiots. Anyways, all right. So, just like the build before, we've got ourselves a AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. We talked a little bit about this in the first section of the show, but if you're just brand new here or you just arrived, we're going to do it again. Paul, tell me about this processor.
This is an 8-core, 16-thread processor with a base speed of 4.7 gigahertz, and it will boost all the way up to 5.2. And we're going to be in those boost speeds a lot with this Trix cooler. It's going to keep it nice and cool. We're going to be big gamers.
Nice. Easy Tune says the 9800X3 is goated. Yeah, I'll be honest. Just the performance reports, the reviews are fantastic with the X3Ds, which is why I'm going to probably get an X3D for my streaming PC because, yeah, I do gaming on Intel, streaming on AMD. That way I can throw show love to all of the people in the world. There we go. So we're going to put that on there. You saw the little brackets that Zach screwed on and screwed down, and that is going to be for our AIO. Now, this is the same AIO, but it's in black. This is the Trix, damn it, 360 AIO Panorama SE, and that is that screen we saw on the white Sakura, except it's in black, and it's gonna look wicked. I dig it. Now, when you're screwing down the pump for your AIO, there are some considerations to think about. Zach?
Yes, so just like Papa taught us on changing that flat tire, we don't go around a circle, we bounce from corner to corner. And if you noticed, I installed some massive springs on the 4 corners. If you are installing massive springs and then you go and tighten down one corner, it's really hard to tighten down the other corner. So what I like to do is I'll stick the nut on there, give it a couple turns so that some threads get locked in place, and then I bounce over to the other corner and screw it all down. So lots of pressure on here, and if you apply all of that pressure on one side, you can cause some serious damage to either A, your motherboard, or 2, your processor.
There we go. Also, those springs will help protect your PC in the event of an earthquake. Totally kidding. Absolutely kidding. Emer says, I'm based in London, UK. Oh my gosh, one of my best friends in the world is there. Actually, 2 of my best friends in the world are there. Yeah, they live. One lives in Reading and the other lives in Surrey. So, I mean, technically it's not London proper, but London adjacent. There we go. Now, the cool thing, I want to jump back on one other thing real quick about the X3D. What's the 3D element mean?
Good question, DJ. So the 3D element is their new 3D V-cache technology. So it's a way of them vertically stacking on top of the CPU die. So it gives them a larger surface area so they can have a bigger CPU cache, which just equates to better performance. So very, very cool how that is done. Excited to see what they do with that in the future too.
Yeah, it's fantastic. There is I want to find it, that video that you and I watched that explains it all. Well, if you look up and search for just AMD X3D explanation or something of that nature, you'll find it. It's on YouTube and it's on their website. What they did is brilliant, genius, awesome, and what they did was almost common sense, and it's one of those things where how did we not think about doing this earlier? But they got it, they nailed it, and it's impressive. What's also impressive is the removal of the heatsink thermal pad covers. You want to make sure you take those off. You can use your M.2 like Zach is doing, which is a 2 terabyte Team Group MP33 NVMe M.2. We also installed some RAM in there, and that is going to be, again, 2 48 gig sticks of DDR5 5600 Trident Z5 in black. It's got RGB on it. It's beautiful. Now, the one thing I want to ask, because I mean, it's weird. I find it, because I'm old, clearly. I started playing with computers when I had hair. I'm sad. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. As far as those 96 gigs of RAM, I'm so used to everything being in like 16s.
Yeah, it is hard to get used to with like you're used to 8, 16 increments of 8.
32, 64. Like I have 64 in mine.
Now we're at 48 gigs. What is going on?
What?
96 in the system? These numbers don't make sense.
Right? Yeah. It's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. There we go. Jeez, you are brilliant. And how can you call yourself some giant idiot when you pulled that out that fast?
See, but there will be a day where it'll be 1.21 gigawatts. And the computers will have flux capacitors in them.
Oh, God. Now, that's one thing I would love to do if I ever did a custom PC by myself. In fact, maybe we could arrange to put it together. I would love to do a Back to the Future build.
We could do it.
With a flux capacitor in it.
Oh, yeah, we could bend tubes.
That would be phenomenal. Oh, yeah, it would have to be a liquid cooled for sure. Let's see here. DDR5 is weird and
to work for sure.
Easy Tune mentions it's an AMD thing. It's better due to single rank memory performing better. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, Easy Tune is our director of marketing, so he knows all of this by heart. All right, so once again, we're getting our fans loaded in here. We've got 8 Game DS AOList M2s, RGBs, but these are in black. So the black frame. Just like the white ones, though, The rim, the rim is going to light up. The fan blades are going to light up, and of course, we're blowing air through it and up and out to exhaust. So now we're going to try and cool it. So we're going to have three in, 6 in, 2 out.
Four in, 4 out.
We're doing 4 in, 4 out. Okay, see, look at that. So that's so the upside about doing a 4 in, 4 out is that with the radiator on top, that's going to slightly decrease the throughput of the air, which creates a slightly positive pressure environment for the PC. Paul, why is it important to really try and calculate that out?
So positive pressure environment is just overall better for your system. It makes all the air come through the proper filtrations that the case was designed for. It's not the end of the world if your system isn't set up that way where you have more intakes than you do exhaust. It's just if you have more exhaust than intakes and create a vacuum inside your PC, dust, pet hair, all that stuff is going to be sucked in through all these little cracks and crevices, little grates around your case. So you want to avoid it if you can, but it's not the end of the world if that's how you're set up.
Emer 1985 Emer 85 says my system is an Intel Ultra 9285 on a ROG Z890 Hero. Damn! All right, an RTX 1590 Founders Edition, and he says it's all ready for Battlefield 6 beta, preloaded, locked and loaded, and it was
shoot.
Yeah, 285K MHZs. That's fantastic.
Battlefield 6.
Jumping back over to the Twitch.
We were just talking about that this weekend.
You're done. Wait, what?
This weekend, open beta, free open beta.
Yes, let's go. So I'll be honest, I do have some titles that I've earned in Battlefield, starting back in Battlefield 2. I was in the top 2% of players with the shortest lifespan.
Nice. We'll have to see if you can live up to that.
I die a lot in Battlefield, and I'm okay with that. Easy2 mentions that AMD's the AMD memory controller will give you speed or density, but not both. So you go to single rank again, the speeds, and sacrifice some density. So go 2 sticks and push for higher speeds. I almost said Destiny, which goes back to the second Back to the Future movie when his dad says, "You are my density. I mean my destiny." White Elvis, hello, welcome. Good to have you here. All right, so now we're getting this laid down. One thing to point out about the MV5s I didn't get a chance to talk about during the first build. If you'll notice, the NV series has an angled bottom on it. So you've got higher throughput on the back than you do on the front. Which that angle gives you a little bit better airflow to pop up in there. And it is plastic with rubber feet. So when it comes to putting your PC down, Paul, what are some considerations and how does this case help with that?
Biggest thing is you just don't want any obstructions for your intake fans to bring air in. So if you want to keep the bottom of your case as free as possible of anything, that's the best guidance. Now in this case, we just have one intake on the bottom here. This other section is going to be for our power supply. Our main intakes are in the rear, so not something we really have to worry about too much in this case.
Yeah. And you can see how compartmentalized the power supply is. So when it comes to a power supply shroud, like we've got here, which is brilliant. It's got an LED in it. It's phenomenal. Why is the shroud necessary?
It gives the power supply.
Why is the shroud beneficial?
It's beneficial in a couple ways. So the first one is overall aesthetics. We're not going to see the cables coming out of the power supply. They're going to be nice and neat under there, and they won't be in the main body of the case. And the other part is it's going to get its own air intake right here, like we mentioned before, but it's going to shoot that air right out this hole where the back of the power supply is going to be. So none of the heat from the power supply is going to be in the main body of the case, which is good. It don't generate a ton of heat, but any heat that can be avoided is always good.
I am honestly tripping thinking about how this is going to look once it's done. Because we saw the white version, and that was beautiful, bright, exciting. This is, I'm going to say this, and I mean this as a compliment. This is a sleeper build. It's going to look one way.
Skinning a
You're
cat
going
out
to turn
there?
it on,
What's
and it's going to be like, what? Yeah, I dig it. I like it.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think the screen's gonna pop a little bit more in this. Now the RGB on the fans is still gonna glow very nicely, but I think the screen on the Trike cooler is gonna pop a little bit more in this one.
It's gonna be awesome. Don't forget, if you have questions, people, please feel free to ask them, even if it's just about your computer, computers in general, assembling computers. That's what we're here for. We're answering your questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question because reasons. I'll tell you that reason. At some point, many years ago, it was an intern sitting on a creative meeting, and they couldn't come up with a good film idea, and he raises his hand and giggles. What if you put sharks in a tornado? Sharknado was a $5 billion IP, and it's still going. And it is some of the most questionably hilarious, awful filming. And I feel like they go for that on purpose. Because it's just, wow. And I will admit, yes, I've watched all of them once. That's their niche, right? And when I say it's hilarious, like, there's one thing when you just got bad special effects or bad acting or poor direction. This is just a snowball rolling towards an open volcano. It's like, what is happening in this movie? I couldn't help but laugh. In fact, I haven't shown my housemate that, but that's something that should definitely, that would be a great, like, group movie view.
Yeah, Mystery Trains.
Sharknado.
Right? Just do a Sharknado run. But yeah, that's so. Dude asked
Oh,
a
you
stupid
gotta come
question,
up with a drinking
and
game. Is there like
it was a
drinking
brilliant
game for
question.
Sharknado?
So ask your questions.
Should be.
Okay, here's a question that I'm gonna ask. So there's a lot of talk about the upcoming forced upgrade to Windows 11. And I can't update my streaming PC because it doesn't have a thing, an EUFI secure boot, whatever it's called.
Oh, okay.
So
you sure it doesn't?
Is that? I haven't been able to figure it out. I'll be very honest.
Oh, on the streaming one, streaming PC.
Yeah, the streaming one. Yeah,
you know what motherboard is in
fine.
there?
That boy's
like the specific model. It probably doesn't.
Something
You're
terrible.
right, but I can find out. It's okay if it's not handy.
I'm gonna pull this thing apart.
Oh well, it's okay.
On
It's
stream.
okay.
So my neighbor's got a horse.
What?
They named it
Like
Mayo.
an actual horse?
Yeah, they named it Mayo. It's so loud. Mayonnaise.
That's a good one. Well, oh my gosh, that was a hell of a way to fill the silence. You filled the silence followed by more silence. That was great.
All right, but I
Holy
figured it out.
shit.
Yeah, we're good at conversating, aren't we? So the
I'm glad somebody got it. I'm glad somebody got
boy.
it. That's at the
This is why
liquor
we're-
store down by my house. I got a horse named Mayo. Mayonnaise.
Oh boy,
wow.
we're going home after this. Calling
Yep.
it a day.
Man, I gotta let the guys know this one. This is
That's a good one.
peak.
Whenever I hear one, I
Cracker,
try
what's going
to
on?
remember it for the show, but
Well,
whew, that's
mine is
that's
an
one. Sorry, DJ. Go
Mine's an
ahead.
ASRock 657, something to that effect.
That is
It
not
is-
a model.
that is not a
It might be a
It is-
650, but it's not a 657. I'll tell you that.
It is a DDR4 board, so at least I have DDR4.
Well, that narrows
memory
it down.
Right? I know.
We know what era it came from.
ASRock B650. Does that sound right?
That sounds about right, maybe. It's very. It is a basic board. It is a very basic board. But
Easy Tunes. That's you keep that in your back pocket.
What is UEFI or UEFI?
UEFI. So I don't know exactly what it stands for. Something about user interface. It's basically when you're going into your BIOS, you have a UEFI mode. It's just an easier way to navigate. Think of it going from like a command prompt looking interface like DOS or some stuff to like one that you can move a mouse around and click and there's graphics and all that stuff. Just easier user interface.
Oh, your BIOS is a HTTP page.
Let's see. What Google says: Unified Extensible Firmware Interface.
Wow.
Because that's easy to remember.
It's just a cleaner looking BIOS, yeah.
And that's going to be
is the connection between the OS and your hardware.
All of them have it now, yeah. Okay. There's a UEFI mode that we like launch everything in when we are loading our OSs and everything. So like we've talked about our testing process before. I guess this is a good kind of segue into it. So every machine, once it's built, like the one we just did and this one that's being built now, when it powers on, it goes to our testing department. And the first thing we do is get into the BIOS there. So that's where we'll set the UEFI. Sometimes you have to launch them in UEFI mode. It depends on your BIOS, but most of them you're in UEFI mode, and that's got some TPM stuff to make sure Windows 11 works. But that's just one of the things we do in there.
Well, we all know what I'm going to be doing this afternoon after I get off stream.
Clicking buttons.
I'm going to click buttons and probably call Paul.
Better call
DJ
Paul.
DVDC. Right, better call Paul. It says it's updated BIOS with a GUI. Replaces the old school BIOS that comes with new security features. TPM being one of the biggest ones. Some games require it. Well, let's hope that I can do that.
There you go.
So does that mean? Okay, sorry. Like because the BIOS is from the manufacturer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So is this
BIOS
not
is on
from the
board
manufacturer?
Right now. No, this is. Yeah, it's coming from. It's just a.
Because I know like each BIOS is different from like.
Yeah.
Game DS looks like
ASRock and MSI and Asus. Yeah, they're all different, but yeah, they come preloaded on the board. And yeah, UEFI, it's BIOS.
Nice.
And I will admit this in public just because it was a thing, man. There are times when I just get stuck in my ways, and I had zero intention of going to Windows 11, and EasyTune was very much confused about why I was being an idiot. So when I got this, I suddenly figured out this is actually pimp. I like this operating system. It's smooth. It works. So yeah, eating crow on that one. Okay, so now we've got our fans in. We've got our backup. We've got our motherboard on. We're getting into that cable wiring. One thing to note that we didn't really get a chance to talk about is when you are securing your motherboard to the case, there are these little nubbins called standoffs. That's just screw on. What are some things you need to take into consideration when you're mounting a board on standoffs?
So you always want your standoffs to be there. That's what separates the motherboard from the actual frame of the chassis. So if you mounted your motherboard directly to your chassis, it would cause a whole bunch of shorting out and probably fry your motherboard. So you want to be very careful that you got your standoffs in the right locations. It's pretty easy to tell. You can always just lay your motherboard in the case. Make sure you're seeing them through all the mounting holes and you'll be good to go.
Yes. Someone we know once did not do that and put the wrong size board in the wrong size case and only did 3 of the standoffs and got the IO shield back in its spot, but then none of the PCI slots were in the right place because it was a different size than what was needed. So this individual took 10 snips and just cut out the entire section and plugged it in.
Baller.
Oh, it caught fire and melted. It was bad.
Rip.
Yep. Okay.
All right, now's probably a good time to get our video card out of the box.
Yes. Now this is also a 16 gig RTX 5080, but it is an MSI Inspire 3X. What's the difference between this and the Ventus?
So this card is going to look a lot different than the other one. It's still going to be a 3-fan model, but the cooler that's on it is going to look different. Performance-wise, it's going to play games just the same. I'm probably not going to notice a difference in frame rate between either of the cards since they're both 50, 80, 16 gigs, but it will look different. It's going to match the aesthetic of this build a little bit more.
Nice. I'm jazzed to see this. This is, again, a first. We've never had one of these on the stream before. Big vision, small form.
Can relate.
Yep.
I didn't know that was on the box. That's pretty good.
Right? Okay.
So whereas our other card, our other Ventus 3X was all white, this Inspire is kind of a bronze metal finish. You can see this here,
Yeah,
black
like a
fans. Very nice.
Brushed copper almost.
Yeah.
Brushed dark steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And subjointed, yeah, the Ventus is white. Gorgeous. Gorgeous card. I have a ROG Strix white. I like the white inside the build. I know that when I finally get my streaming PC, it's gonna be a black build. And I'm gonna try and wait until Oracle's available. Because I want one. All right, so we've got our stickers you gotta get off there. By the way, if you are putting in a brand new graphics card, make sure you take off all the plastic. It could cause problems if you don't. Paul?
Oh yeah. Now we've seen people leave them on and run them, and sometimes they don't melt, but why would you run the risk? Also, it's super fun to just peel that off, so give yourself the satisfaction of doing that.
I don't get no.
Yep.
You don't get none.
And check the center of the fans. There are usually stickers on there. But that's good. So weight-wise, comparatively to, say, the Ventus, how comparable?
It's about the same, honestly. Not heavier or lighter. About the same.
Ivory says, brother, that peel was, what was that peel? 0 out of 10.
Oh, didn't like that peel.
But yeah, just make sure you get all that off there. If not, you could end up smelling something gross and think that the entire world is ending. Okay. Now, we've got the installation of our power supply unit. Now, this power supply unit is once again, it's a Game DS 1000 watt Helios P2A plus gold. This one's in black. What kind of a power supply is this?
So this is a modular power supply. So the cables are not pre-soldered in, they're separate. You can see I had those separated out. Modular power supplies are nice because they're way easier to build. There's less cables to tie up inside your system, so your system's gonna look cleaner. And if you ever need them, like extra SATAs or extra CPU power, anything like that, when you upgrade your system, you can just keep the extra cables and plug them in as you need.
It's also great for space management because if you don't have all the extra cables that you're not using packed in there, you got a little more breathable room.
Yeah, for sure.
And what's nice about the NV5 series is the fact that it's not a true 3/4 build. Like we've seen 3/4 build, especially with the O11s, because the motherboard is not near the back. The motherboard is near the back on this, but it's still got a little gap area for the cable management and things to be placed. Plus, they got that door. So that is a big plug. And again, big shout out to Game DS because their ribbons are wonderful. The ribbons are wild. Flat, they look good. This is gonna be wicked. I'm excited for this. From this shot, one thing to note is where the radiator is located compared to the pump. Why is that important, Paul?
So we have our radiator above our pump because there's always going to be a small amount of air inside these AIOs, and we don't want that air getting to the pump. So you can see kind of on the left side there where the tubes go up into the radiator. That's the high. We want that to be the highest point. So obviously with the radiator on the top, the entire radiator is at the highest point. But if we were to mount this, say in this side right here, you just want to make sure that those tubes are up here so that they are above where the pump is.
Nice.
Stay right there, Jason. Stay right there.
I dig it.
Stay right there.
You got the reference for the song? Yes.
Here it comes.
It's just magnetic, right?
Yep. There's like 4 posts that go in, held in there by magnets.
I don't know who Trikes is, but I am significantly impressed.
It's pretty.
I definitely want that
pretty
air
cool.
cooler. I want that liquid cooler in my stream build. My Oracle.
And they've got their own software that you can download
Because-
and add all the stuff to, and it's actually got its own memory on there, so it doesn't use any of your system resources to run that video.
Do you know what I will do with it when I do that inside the Oracle?
Oh,
I will put an eyeball on each of those
there you go.
that just stares and looks around at you.
That blink at the wrong time.
Right?
The old Tony
Or
Hawk
is like, that's
Neversoft
not how an
logo
eyeball
eyeball.
works.
That would be good.
Or stick the old Valve logo on there. With the dude
Right.
having the valve on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
MNP over on the red side on YouTube says, why not front mount the AIO with the tubes below? Correction, side mount. So side mount it.
We can definitely do that with the tubes up top, but we like putting it the entire radiator up top. It's just how we like to do things. But you wouldn't be doing it wrong if you had it on the side. Doing this will give us a little bit more air coming into the system since our intake fans won't have any restricted airflow from the radiator.
Yeah, the old valve logo was wild. Literally got the valve in the back of the head. Just, yep. It was fantastic. Krampus says, so like I said, I'm new to the PC world. What are the pros and cons of liquid cooled and fan air cooled? Which is better for what? Okay, I'm going to give an opinion. Actually, no, you're the technical expert.
Well, great question, Krampus. So, back in the day, AIOs were just always performing better. Air coolers, you could use them. They weren't really, they weren't as good as they are now. So, in today's world, air cooling is just fine. There's a lot of aftermarket coolers that look nice and cool really well. However, an AIO is pretty much always going to outperform any of those air cooler options, unless you're comparing like a really small 120 AIO to like a high-end aftermarket air cooler. If you're going with a 360 like this build, it's just going to keep your processor way cooler than an air cooler could. And the reason why that is important is because you want your CPU to be able to hit its boost clock speeds while you're gaming when the demand is there, and keeping it cool allows it to stay at those boost speeds for longer.
Yep. I have a 360 AIO, and on this machine, and that's a 13900 KF processor, playing like Rainbow Six Siege in 1440, I'm getting 200 plus frames per minute, and the CPU has never gotten above 70. It just hasn't. They work really, really well.
They work really well. I've been using the same 360 AIO in my system for like 8 or 9 years and haven't had to do anything to it. When you go the AIO route, you don't have to add any fluid or pop the tubes off or do anything like that. So it's very low maintenance for very good performance.
I am a fan of the air cooled.
A fan.
I love
I see what you did
the
there.
big old Be Quiet. I've got a Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro. But that being said, I also rock a Ryzen 5 3600.
So air cooler works just fine for that processor.
Air cooler works phenomenally well. It looks amazing in my case. It's touching the glass because of how big it is. But if I was to upgrade my processor, I probably would want to go with one of these bad boys.
Real quick, MNP over on the YouTube site says, is the top mount AIO setup as an exhaust or intake? It's an exhaust.
It is an exhaust,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, past getting that heat out, switching it up. And then Easy mentioned, good air coolers are also heavier due to how much metal is needed to dissipate the same amount of heat as an AIO. Air cooling needs a lot of surface area. Excellent point.
It's true. I remember back in the day, we saw some giant air coolers, like on some AM3 sockets. So you know how long ago that was, breaking the socket off.
Did you see that somebody took a BMW radiator and used that?
Use that for their PC? No.
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
We'll have to check. I'll
That's
have to
absurd.
find it for you and load it, post it. But yeah, the dude used like a M3 BMW radiator.
That's
Good
awesome.
God. All right, so while we are getting the last touches on here, I want to take everybody who's watching on a journey. We're going to go head over and show you how you can get your hands on the next PC of your dreams. At CLXGaming.com, we try to make it as easy as possible for you to get everything you could possibly want in a PC. Whether it is a small ITX form, a large form, or something in between, we've got them all. And we've got them with designs. You can make a custom design. It's all a possibility. We carry all of the major brands, and that includes NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, Radeon, NVIDIA, and we even have some, what are they called? ARCs. There we go, ARCs. See, I got there eventually. And you can't screw it up. Here's why. Notice how that little button just went from green to yellow? In this situation, we've chosen a graphics card that's pretty awesome, but the power supply isn't quite there yet. So the system's going to say, all right, if you want this graphics card, you're going to have to choose from one of these power supplies. But if you want that power supply, you're going to have to choose from just these GPUs. Once you've solved the problem, it goes back to green and you are ready to go. And it'll tell you, yep, conflicts resolved. You want your GPU or your CPU overclocked? We can do one or both. You want to upgrade your thermal paste? We can do that too. We've got streaming gear for those of you who are content creators. We carry Elgato capture cards. We've also got Beacon mix creates, Beacon mics, and it's awesome. So just to jump over to the accessories area, first of all, the very first tab on it is our CLX tab. And anybody who's ever been to any of the events where we're at, you notice we're always wearing CLX shirts and the windbreakers, which are just phenomenal. They're so great. So you can grab one of those when you grab your PC, and then everything else you could need. It's a one-stop shopping center for all things PC. We've got keyboards, mice, controllers, headphones. Again, the microphones, and that is, again, Beacon Mix Creates are phenomenal. I love them to death. Monitors, we got it. Speakers, we got it. Internal displays like what Emer was talking about right there. Look at that. I know, it's awesome. And then all the way down there, we've also got routers and a chair. If you need a gaming chair, we carry one. And it's a Game DS. Aphrodite. There we go. So, I know that sounds like a lot of information to take in at once, so don't worry. If it's a little bit too complicated, we have another section that might be better. It's called the Ready to Ship, or RTS option. The RTS is our pre-builds, and they come in multiple flavors, starting at entry-level, mid-range, high performance, and then ultra-high performance. And this gives you an idea of kind of what the components you need in order to perform, in order for your PC to perform it a certain way. And it's phenomenal. They have all been assembled right there in the warehouse, and they have all been tested just like everything else we build. So, that being said, for all of your future PC needs, gaming, work, or otherwise, head on over to CLXGaming.com and see how we can help you prepare for tomorrow. Okay. Oh, shucky ducky quack quack. That's amazing. That does look. I'm waiting for the screens to light up. There they go. I'm so entertained right now. I'm so entertained. So once again, this is the Sakura in white and our topography in black, and absolutely incredible. Both of these systems have, yep. Probably, I want to say it's probably around 35. The Sakura, yes, it is. It's outstanding. Once again, let's go through what's inside of these PCs. These both have AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3Ds with a Trix 360 AIO with a Panorama SE on it. That's that screen you can see right there, which is gorgeous. 96 gigs of DDR5 5600. We've got a GeForce RTX 5080 in each of them. Each has 2 terabytes of Team Group MP33 NVMe M.2s, 8 Game DS fans, and a Game DS 1000 watt Helios P2. So matching systems for matching ideas. I dig it. It's absolutely incredible. So there we go. Right? You big brain smarts. Big brain smarts. I love it. And now we go. There we go. The CLX is up. Also, that's a good option. Yeah. Get them both. It'll be great. And the holidays are coming. I can't believe I just said that out loud. Graduation gifts. Oh God, my mom still is trying to figure out how webmail works. Oh, I'm not kidding. So I did mention something that and that is what I mentioned about testing. So where are these PCs going to go from here?
BIOS of the machine. That's where we're looking at all the UEFI and TPM stuff for Windows 11. But
Hang on, Paul.
Yep.
Hold on, you're muted.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay. So once again, where do these go?
All right, so these are going to go to our testing and integration department next. So first thing we do is get into the BIOS of the machine. We'll make sure our RAM speed's set correctly. All of our storage devices are showing up. If you're getting overclocking, that's where we would set the overclock, and then once your BIOS has been set, we'll load the operating system. If you picked any games on our website, that's where we load those. If you didn't pick any games, you just get a fresh install of your OS. We don't put any BS bloatware on these. You're not going to get a bunch of different antiviruses or malware programs or anything like that. Just a fresh install. And then after that is done, we stress test the systems for 12 hours to make sure everything's all nice and stable. That way you don't have any issues when it gets to you.
Yep. Can confirm. Works like a dream. All right. Now, that was our after show, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in just a few, we're going to jump out. I'm going to go over and play some Warhammer 40K. But don't forget, this show happens at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern, every Tuesday and Thursday. On Tuesday, we're here on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. On Thursday, we're exclusively on TikTok. You don't want to miss it. To find out more about what's going on with CLX Gaming, head on over to our socials. That is YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at CLX Gaming. You can also jump into our Discord. That's discord.gg/CLX Gaming. And it's a bunch of like-minded PC enthusiasts, and you can throw your pictures of your PC in there, which is fun. So, that being said, that brings our show to a close. On behalf of Jason and Kyle in production, Paul and Zach, I'm DJ Blue PDX. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Thursday on TikTok.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
See ya.